Hey guys, George here back in again. Train stream. I said that so fast. It's just like blah, blah, blah. So it's a pop-up stream today. I woke up this morning and it's like I want to do something that involves trains. It's like why not do it live, right? So oops, dropped my phone there. Let me see if I did this right. Pretty sure I did, but hopefully I did. And yeah, there we go. So anyways, for the two of you watching, I'm going to try and get trains running because, it's always a good thing, if you know what I mean. Hello, Sean's Trains, Matt Collection and Things, Jack Selvin, Randall Ellison, Felix the Rail Fan and Plane Spotter, Johnny, or Addis Invicta, Conrail, 8098, Burnsy, and Corey. Hello, guys. Welcome to the stream. Let's see if I can get trains going. All right, that's always a good sound. Yeah. So, oh, I don't have any other legacy remotes. Let me go grab one. Wally got locked in the train closet. Oh, well, he's at work right now, and I wanted to do a train stream, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to stream today. So here's the 844 with a excursion contest my dad made. He said when we went to ride behind 765, seeing all like the older passenger cars, kind of was a cool look, especially with all the different road names. Ooh. Let me move the GFW Trains train a little. Alright, hold on. Trains and Things, welcome to the stream. Alright, let me get this going real quick. But yeah, so that's kind of what happened. Yeah, that's kind of why my dad isn't here, and I wanted to do a stream, so I decided to do a solo stream. And yeah, so this is kind of an inspired excursion contest for the 844 we have. So what my dad did is he put the two Union Pacific baggage car and a Union Pacific RPO car, and then he put a Golden State passenger car. I think it's a coach car behind it. I'm not entirely sure. There's no interior in it, so I don't know. I can't really tell what kind of car it is. He's got a Norfolk and Western sleeper from the Norfolk and Western set we have, and then he's got a Norfolk and Western coach car. Actually, looks like a diner car actually. And he's got a Milwaukee Road coach car that we got from our Milwaukee Road set. Milwaukee Road observation car, or not observation car, Vista Dome car, and then he's got this. I don't know what kind of observation car this is, but it's kind of cool actually. I think we got it in St. Louis. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. Or I don't know if anybody can tell me. I've seen these around though. But it's a probably shouldn't touch it from the top, but it's pretty shiny. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I gotta put this on, but I don't want to like make anything spark or anything. Got some Tokyo Trick right there. Alright, there we go. Alright. Let me get everything going. And then I've got Big Boy on the tracks, or at least one of them. Uh-oh. And then over there we have the GFW Trains train, pulling my UP passenger train. And then for Christmas, my grandpa actually gave us some more UP cars, although they're not Lionel, they're MTH, but they still look real nice with the train. I think he gave us another Vista Dome, and then he gave us a UP Sleeper, which is kind of cool. Then also I got some PFU reefers as well for Christmas. I got two MTH PFU reefers, Woodside ones actually, and then I got another Lionel one that looks almost identical to the the Vision Line one, so that matches nice with those. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what we got going on right now. I'm gonna go get the big boy set up. GFW Trains, are you planning on getting the Skytop or getting the Milwaukee Road Skytop observation car? I don't think so. Kind of. I mean, I'm sure it'll cross our path eventually, but we've never really been. I think my grandpa used to buy everything new from the catalogs back probably like 10 years ago, but now we kind of go for like the used market, if that makes sense. So everything we have here has actually been used. Pretty sure some of the MTH stuff we got straight from the catalogs. I think the Norfolk and Western cars we got straight from the catalog. Other than that, I think it's all just been stuff that we've come across at train shows, which is kind of nice because you get it a lot cheaper. And I don't mind honestly waiting a couple of years because a lot of the older stuff has still got really good, cool like running value. I'll send you the link, Johnny. Or I think. Let me see. A lot of it's got really cool, like, I mean, it's still like real nice stuff. Or for example, the JLC Big Boy. I wouldn't mind having that instead of the Vision Line one. I mean, it's still really cool. Hold on. It's still a really cool engine. You know, it's almost identical to the Vision Line one detail wise. So that's kind of why I like it a lot. And it was pretty neat when it came out. All right, let me see if this is working. Hold on, guys. Yeah, there we go. So, anyways, yes, I mean, it's not really that we don't like any stuff straight from the catalog, but I'd much rather get like instead of spending a lot of money on just one thing, waiting till value goes down and then getting it after. For example, we got the Vision Line Big Boy after the latest Big Boy came out. So I think and we got it at a really good price instead of spending $2,400 on the Vision Line Big Boy. We got it for a lot less. GFW Trains, I found mine a few months ago. It came out in an MTH catalog 20 years ago, and it was for sale in like new conditions. It's said by the name of. Oh yeah, I know Trains. Actually, we've gotten a lot of our stuff there. Some of the switches, I think we got these switches, or this switch in particular from Trains. And I think we've got the 080 curve, or no, the 089 curves on the outside track. This passing sighting, we got them from Trains. But yeah, I know Trains. Other than that, how was your weekend, George? It was pretty cool. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, which was kind of neat. Getting to see them is real nice. I forgot. I got food. Hold up. The big boy came off the track. I've got an interesting consist going for the big boy. It's I don't know what it is, but yeah, I'm gonna be smoking up the big boy with all the smoke from this. That squeaking noise is really annoying me, especially for the on those passenger cars. If you know me real well, I do not like the squeaking noise. And hey, look at this, we got Johnny here. Johnny, how's it going?
What's up, man? How are you doing?
Gotta get the volume turned up. Hello, Johnny. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, my dude. Can you hear me?
Oh, hold on. Let me see. Johnny! Hello, I think I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Awesome. I'm doing good. How you doing, man?
Good, good. All right, I was worried that you were at work, so I didn't.
Nah.
I was like, oh boy, because I know Tim's at work right now. So, yeah. So for those of you who don't know, this is Johnny. He's a friend of mine from Chicago. Um, and yeah, he likes trains too. He's actually lent me his Challenger, which I've been running on the floor layout upstairs. It's running real nice. It's actually probably the best running engine that I've gotten to work up there. I was running the Vision Line Big Boy up there, and it's probably the best it's ran all winter, which is kind of nice. But yeah. So how you doing, Johnny?
I'm doing good. I'm glad the challenge is working for you. I'm glad you're getting enjoyment out of it, because for me, it just sits under the layout. So I'm glad someone who can get use out of it and enjoy it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a real nice engine. I'm surprised. I've never really been one to have any interest in the Line Master stuff. That's Line Master, correct?
Yeah, it's the one of the earlier runs of the Line Master Challenger with TMCC. Um, as I've told you many times before, and probably everyone here has heard it, uh, didn't realize I was buying the TMCC version. I expected it to be the legacy one, so when it arrived and didn't have a Quibble whistle, I was a little bit disappointed. But those things are robust as all heck, and anyone who has a smaller layout or wants to get articulated engines without going all full 072, they're definitely worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real nice engine. Honestly, I was out. I had my grandpa over, and he said, I mean, it's very similar than the JLC or to the JLC one that he has. But yeah, I think that Lionel did a real nice job with those. I think that they're. I think it's nice that they came out with an alternative to running articulated locomotives, especially on the smaller curves. I wasn't able to get that around my fast track curves, and as a lot of people know, those are pretty tight. The 36. But yeah, Anfield Road layout in the loft. Hi, welcome to the stream. At GFW Trains, what do you think of the Line Master Cat 4? I think it's probably the best Line Master locomotive ever made. Just because I'm a Cat 4 sucker. And look what just came to the stream. Sid's Trains. We all know Sid, don't we? All right.
What's up?
Let me see. I gotta put some smoke fluid in the big boy. Don't want to run the smoke unit out. And it's kind of all right. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Anyways, but yeah. So Sid, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm just sitting here at my workbench because some stuff is happening in there, so I can't show off what's going on in my train room right now.
Oh boy, I see that observation car behind you.
That's about the only thing that's on that table right now because we're actually working in the room.
How's that going? Have you gotten any more progress with it?
Yeah, last night we made a lot of progress on the homicide for the table. For probably about 2 or 3 weeks, it was just the homicide sitting in a pile, and now we have a majority of the sheets cut, so we only have to make a couple more, and then we'll be ready to start gluing it down and painting it.
Well, that's real cool, Sid. I know that you've been working real hard on that, and it's cool to see that layout kind of form in shape. How's that 072 test circle you had going on there?
That was good, though. I will say that is probably the dirtiest section of track that I have in my collection. It's so
No.
I've never cleaned that section of track ever. So yeah, it was fun running stuff in a circle, but I'm ready to get back to actually having a decent sized layout.
Yeah, I think Sid, that layout's going to be amazing once you get that running or going. But yeah, Johnny, what do you have running behind you? I saw that you got a little train under you or behind you. Oh, the GS4. I see.
Or the GS2, actually, the Railking GS2 is running with the K-line cars behind me, and then there's also the S3 as well.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
The GS4 has sadly met its demise, I guess we could say. It's
kind of MIA right now.
Yeah.
Oh, is that at Sid's? Did you send it to Sid?
Well, yes and no. So, long story short, on December 5th, I sent the engine out to USPS. I was like, hey, I just need to send this out to a friend, blah, blah, blah. They packed it up. They said, "Yeah, it's all good." I'm like, "Yeah, I just want to make sure, I get the tracking number. It's the first time I've ever sent anything out to anyone. Period." Like, "Yeah, no worries. It'll arrive by Tuesday." So I got an update that it arrived at my post office. It left my post office, and that was on December 9th, and I haven't gotten anything since. So it's kind of just somewhere. So it hasn't arrived at Sid's, so we don't know where it is.
Like, let's
Really? What do you do in a situation like that? Like, how is that?
Cry.
Well, I'm not saying it's Johnny did anything wrong. Not everybody has to do this, and most people don't. But no matter what it is, I make my customers, when I'm shipping it back, I make them pay insurance because I don't want something like that to happen on my end, and then have them lose it, and then have to make me lose a bunch of money. I'm not saying that it's your fault. I'm just saying that's what I do. You can talk with them. I bet if you really got on them and talked to them a lot, you could probably get them to look into it more. I also have friends that might have connections with USPS, so if it gets to that point, maybe I can ask them. But lots of the time, you just kind of have to sit back and just pray that it either comes, or you just, I guess, don't cry over spilled milk.
Yeah. Like, for me personally, like I said with you said before, like, hey, it's only like a couple $100 like semi-skilled daylight. I don't really care that much about if it's gone, it's gone. I've made my peace with my various DCs, so if I need to get a scale one, no, that's the kick in the butt. I need to get a scale one. Like I don't really care in the end. If it arrives at your place, great. I'll go for the upgrade. But if it doesn't show up, then it be what it be. There's nothing I can really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of sucks though, because I couldn't imagine losing a train. I think I'd cry for a very long time.
Well, it never really ran, so it kind of just sat on a shelf. So I don't have that much of emotional connection to it.
There's only ever been one time in my life that I ever really cried over a train, and it was kind of funny. So it was my Williams version of the Lionel 773 Hudson. So it was just it was die cast. It was a really nice engine, but it was just the Williams rendition of it, and it was sitting on my old table in this room. The track was at probably at 18 volts because I just left it on sitting there while I was grabbing a passenger car under the table. There was a storm outside. The lights flicker, power flickers. The train then shoots off at full speed. And this was before my room had any walls in it or anything on the floor. And it falls off the table, hits a wall, the shell cracks, and then it falls on the floor and then cracks again.
Oh!
So it pulled a real life version of the 773.
Yes. It just, the shell, I had never seen die-cast metal just crack like an egg. It literally just cracked like an egg. It was just, I was so upset. But then that basically was just the push for me to start buying more Hudsons, and that's why now I have like way too many of them. But
my dad is a junkie as well. And SMT, welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. I think there's a couple people that I haven't gotten Trainstorm in here. Trainstorm, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I think that's always bad. I've cried a couple times over trains. I think the one big one was I had for Christmas. I had gotten a Lionel Norfolk & Southern -9, and it was the first TMTC locomotive I had ever received. So it was kind of wait, are you guys hearing an echo?
no,
I think it might be in Sid's end.
maybe it is.
The look of guilt on his face.
No, this
But
keeps
anyway,
happening. Like, it's weird. Like it echoes for a second, then stops. It makes no sense.
Alright.
If I need to grab some earbuds, I'll grab some earbuds.
But anyways, so I had gotten a Lionel. Well, I think it was a TMCC upgrade, but it was a Lionel. It said conventional in the box. It's Lionel Norfolk & Southern -9, the first TMCC locomotive I ever got. I think I was like 9 years old, and I was so proud of it. I mean, that was like my pride and joy at the time. The Norfolk and Southern was my favorite railroad. That's actually why I have that Norfolk and Southern dummy right behind me. Was I lashed those two up and I run super long freight trains. Well, one day we were at Milwaukee Train Fest and I had was running it all day and all of a sudden it stops. The engine stops, and I was super confused because I mean, like, you know, it's not supposed to do that. And I was running it. I was trying to run it, and a friend of mine opened it up, and there was just like wads of dog hair in the engine, like, and it was kind of one of those things where it's like, what? And they asked me if I was like just like pushing it on the carpet because I mean like that'd be something like a 9-year-old did with his trains. I mean, if you know what I mean, like everybody at one point pushed their trains along the carpet, and I was like, that engine I probably took the best care of because it was probably the most expensive engine I own personally. But yeah, I said no, and they fixed it. Luckily, it still runs to this day. It's a speed demon. It's a speed demon, though. I mean, it's super fast. I think it's probably one of those engines where it's like it's really cool looking at it, but it's really hard to operate. If that makes sense, you know?
No, I get you.
Yeah.
That was a good question in the chat, actually. I want to make sure that they don't have to feel like we're ignoring it.
What's
it's
up?
About there's a question about the K-line and Railking trains are not exactly to scale quality that's affordable. Kind of deal with them, or are they different? I know they're made by different manufacturers though, so to kind
of the K-line is originally was. I mean, it was its own company. I actually, in my mind, that was probably the best. Those were for the time. Those were probably the best trains for the price that they were selling for. I think that I mean, because you could buy it at the time they were selling the 773 not the 77 the 700E remakes. Lionel was for I think like $1,000, and I think a couple of years after K-Line came out with their version of the 700E, but it had their remake of the 700E, and it was scale and it had TNCC for like half the price. You know what I'm saying? So I think K-Line probably is one of the best train manufacturers for the price that they are being sold for. Although you have to be really careful because those electronics tend to fry. Although that's why Sid's around. You know, he's the one fixing our trains for us. Railking tends to be the non-scale version of the MTH Premier line, so it's kind of the quality in it. I mean, Johnny's gonna have to back me up on this one. I don't have too much Railking stuff, but from the Railking stuff that we have, the quality seems to be really nice, and the same as the MTH Premier stuff. It's just smaller, so you can run it on any curve.
I mean, for me personally, I had a chance to personally compare a Railking and K-Line model side by side, and that would be with the GS4. I had a Railking GS4 previously, and I also had the Railking GS2 running behind me. So when I put the Railking GS engine side by side with the K-Line engine, you're getting good quality products from Railking. You'll get the kind of high level of premier internal electronics, and the motor and everything like that's high top of line, like premier quality. What you're losing in terms of the price drop is the level of detail. So that's kind of like the equivalent of like the Line Chief line is the most readily available thing we have right now. Comparing the GS4s from MTH to K-Line, you'll see that there's a couple of things omitted from the model that kind of make it have its own little charm or make it look a bit wonky. With the GS2 and the GS4 from MTH, the skyline casing is a little bit too short, and it gives us this really weird, like, kind of triangle head kind of feel to the top of it when you should have this big skyline casing above that. But for the price and for stuff that's readily available and reliability, I'd say go for Railking, go for MTH if you can. Well, you still can. But for K-Line, with their daylight, I love it a lot more because you get the same kind of detail as you would on a premier level Lionel line.
Well, and the K-Line, all the K-Line, like the non-scale K-Line stuff is actually S gauge or S scale, if you would put an S scale body on it, that would be a scale S gauge locomotive. So, for example, the K-Line Big Boy that they came out with, the Lionel, well, when Lionel got all the tooling from K-Line, they actually used the K-Line bodies from their big boys and produced their S gauge big boys, or their S gauge big boys using the old O scale K-Line tooling.
Yeah.
I find kind of cool. So if you take and we have a friend, if you take if you take a new modern S scale big boy, Lionel S scale big boy, you can turn the locomotive around and see like the where the wheels would have gone on the O gauge version of it, which I find kind of cool. Yeah, I think that you're right, Johnny. I think Railking and just a pointer on this one. Railking and MTH are the same company. They're made by the same people. Railking, in my mind, probably is if for the price, it's probably a better alternative than like the Lion Shoe stuff. If that makes sense. I mean, it's a lot cheaper. Although you have to worry about like the BCRs. You have to have a TIU stuff like that to run with. Yeah. So, anyways, I didn't think the stream was gonna last too long. I got some stuff I gotta do. Apparently, my mom's yelling at me right now. So, thank you guys for joining. Fun talk. Let's do this again, maybe sometime, like tomorrow or something. Yeah. See you guys. Thank you guys for joining, and yeah, adios.
See you guys.